Hey, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching 100% NUFC. So this is breaking news regarding Newcastle United. The draw for the 5th round of the FA Cup was made this evening. And Newcastle United, if we can beat Oxford United in a week's time at the Kassam Stadium after drawing 0-0 at St James's Park on Saturday, we could be taking on West Bromwich Albion at the Hawthorns in a midweek clash. The game will be played on either Tuesday the 3rd or Wednesday the 4th of February 2020, that is next month. But we'll have to get the job done against Oxford United first, after we were very disappointing at home against, the U's, and we'll have to do it all over again. Again this season, we're not strangers of a replay after Rochdale put 1-1 at St James's Park in the 3rd round. We've got to do it all over again on Tuesday week down at Oxford, the last thing we needed. But my thoughts on this potential 5th round tie, I'm really happy with it. If we can beat Oxford, as we should, but then again, I say that, it's a one-off game, again, and it's the FA Cup. Surprises do happen like it did on Saturday. Nobody, was expecting a draw. West Bromwich Albion, it's a good tie for us. We have ambitions, just like Steve Bruce and the lads, of progressing in the FA Cup for the first time, in 14 years. We haven't been to the 5th round for the first time in, 14 years, and potentially we could be in the quarterfinals for the first time in a long time. But it's one game at a time. Oxford first, then beat them, play West Brom. It's not going to be an easy game at the Hawthorns. West Brom this season are a good side, top of the championship under Slaven Bilic, look like they're going up. And I think we've done very well in terms of the actual draw, because we've avoided the top 6 sides from the Premier League, and we've also avoided a Premier League club. But we've got, West Bromwich Albion, who, they'll give it their absolute all down at the Hawthorns. And Newcastle United, we don't do very well, during the week. And the reason why the 5th round will be played on midweek instead of on the weekend is because of the winter break in the Premier League. So I think against Oxford on Tuesday, we've got to put out a strong side and we've got to go for it, because if we could do that, then West Brom, I think, they're for the taking as well. We can go to West Brom and get something in terms of a win and get through to the quarterfinals. We've got a huge opportunity now to make it to that quarterfinal, and who knows, if we win in the quarterfinal, if we go that far, we could be in the the famous stadium in Wembley, not for a tie against Tottenham, but for an actual FA Cup semi-final. So we've got a real chance, of actually doing something this season in the FA Cup. I'm not saying we're going to win it, but we've got a chance of going as far as we can possibly get, which for a club of Newcastle's stature, we should be looking at the quarters or at least the semi-finals. And there's no better chance now to do it than the run that we've got. We've been quite lucky. We've been drawn against Rochdale. We got past them. We've now got Oxford. We should have cruised past them on Saturday. We didn't. And now we've got West Bromwich Albion if we can make it against Oxford. So a lot of clubs, even in the Premier League, would have killed for the potential run that we've been served up. So if this is no motivation for the players to go out to Oxford and get something, then I don't know what is. The trip to West Bromwich Albion, it's not a Man City, it's not a Liverpool, it's not a Chelsea, it's not an Arsenal or anything like that. It's a chance to get through against Oxford and then potentially beat a championship side, as we should do, at the Hawthorns. But then again, we'll talk about that if we make it through. I don't want to underestimate Oxford in any way, because, they've got a chance themselves. They'll be looking at that thinking, beat Newcastle, a one-off tie against, West Bromwich Albion. We're not expected to win that, but who knows, we beat them, then Oxford are in the quarterfinals. So I think it's a good tie all in all, and I'm happy for it if we can get there, but we should do. But there we go. It is what it is. So it's West Bromwich Albion versus Oxford and Newcastle. The ties will be played on either Tuesday the 3rd or Wednesday the 4th of February. And those dates will be confirmed very, very shortly. And if you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to go along and subscribe and hit the thumbs up. That would be massively appreciated. I'll be back very, very soon with another bit of content for you on the channel. And I'll see you all later. How are the lads?